Hi people. We hope you're having a great day today. Our feelings are complicated, as the new episode of Yellowstone has managed to shock us all once again. It was a completely unexpected episode that was filled with betrayal, forgiveness, and politics, and we loved every single part of it. That being said, we also had some mixed feelings about some of the choices that our beloved characters made. We know that the universe of Yellowstone is a harsh one. Nevertheless, sometimes we feel like it doesn't necessarily be this harsh, and the unexplainable moves of some characters cause it to be this way. Whom do we refer to by saying that? Well, of course, no other than our charismatic rancher John Dutton. Kevin Costner is making wonders in his role as John, there is no doubt in that. However, perhaps he is playing a bit too real, as we believe the character of John is real, and can't help ourselves to resent him at times. This episode was filled with resentments towards John, as he was in his most selfish self that we hate to see. What might John have done to make this furious? Well, let us explain. First, he called Beth to the lodge. When Beth told him that he looked sad, he corrected her by saying that he looks lonely, not sad. From that point on, it was clear that John was up to something. He then offered Beth and Rip to move into the lodge with them. Beth was surprised, as she was happy with her isolated life with Rip. John's argument was clear. His great-grandfather made that lodge so big for one single reason. He wanted all of his children to live there. Thus, John's children should also live there. Since Jamie is no longer considered as John's child and Casey was married to someone who hates John, Beth was the only option. Beth told him that he should speak with Rip. John asked her to speak with Rip herself. In response, Beth confronted him, saying that he should have an emotional talk with another man rather than putting her into the middle of things. Well, John spoke to Rip, but instead of kindly asking him whether he would be on board to live with him in the lodge, he ordered him to move in with him. Rip was shocked. He excused the presence of Carter as a reason to not move, but John didn't care. That's settled then, he said before Rip even came up with yet another argument. John is aware of his power over Rip and knows that he would do anything he wants at once without question. And this power and balance is the reason why John shouldn't have acted the way he did. We know that John has had enough of being lonely. In the last episode, he tried to be friends with Summer to have companionship in the lodge. However, it's ruined by Beth, as she couldn't stand seeing Summer, whom she doesn't know, with her father. We feel like, this week, John took his revenge on Beth by changing her lifestyle with a single word. It's sad because for the first time in months we watched Beth, Rip, and Carter happy with their lives, as they seem like a proper, functional family. Now, we feel like moving into the lodge will change the balances once again and might ruin the delicate peace that they managed to achieve. That being said, we feel like this might have a positive impact on Carter, who looks up to John as a role model. If they would live together, he might learn more from him, and be the man he wants to be one day. Another problematic move of John was the fact that he ruined Jamie with one single move, and we feel like it was a bit too much. When the governor came up to Yellowstone and wanted to speak with John, he knew that something was wrong. She told him that she will be running for the Senate in Washington, D.C. It was surprising news for John, since the governor was one of the few in Montana whom he can get along with. Their vision for Montana was very similar, and he would hate to lose this. The governor told him that she plans to approve Jamie's candidacy as a replacement, since Jamie proved himself as an attorney general. She praised Jamie a lot, which annoyed John, who was completely against the idea. John told her that she cannot do that, since they would completely ruin Montana. When she insisted on her opinion, saying that a new generation of rulers would be great for the state, John, ironically, expressed that he would run for the governor's office and she should support him. She was surprised, but also pleased with the idea. It looked like she had fun watching this family drama and seeing John challenging himself with such a bold move. When John let Beth know, she was more than happy, as she was open to any idea that would harm Jamie. When the day of the announcement came, Jamie was very confident that he will be the one that has the honor of being offered by the governor. Unfortunately, when he was walking down the stairs, he saw John and Beth. At that moment, he felt like something was wrong, but still, he kept his hope high, assuming that his father came to support him. Thus, when the governor announced John's name instead of Jamie's, he collapsed. Now, we have trouble understanding the motivation behind John's move. If it was Beth instead of John who was running for the position, we would get it, as she has a personal rivalry with John. But John created the personal rivalry for the first time with this move, proving to Jamie that he already dismissed him as a son. In our opinion, Jamie didn't deserve such a betrayal. Yes, we know that he is still keeping his silence over Garrett's crimes. Still, he has his reasons and sensitivities keeping him away from taking sharper decisions. In the last episode, we watched him crying in front of Garrett, accusing him of betraying Duttons, his family. Therefore, we feel like John made the biggest mistake of his life by pushing Jamie further towards Garrett. What do you think of our criticism over the almighty John Dutton? Do you think he was right in his moves? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.